Namaskar. In a 6th class of human physiology NEET aspirants, the most important terms and terminologies of female reproductive parts and reproduction, we shall discuss about this, and the glossary part actually I am discussing in a very concise form. However, first, what is actually the LH surge? LH surge is the level of blood LH, luteinizing hormone, from anterior pituitary is increased. When increased? It is before 9 to 12 hours. Before 9 to 12 hours of ovulation, the LH level becomes high in female body, and this LH level, this LH helps to rupture the Graafian follicle and release the secondary oocyte. So this is called LH surge. During before 9 to 12 hours, if any scientist or any doctor will test a female body, then he or she will exhibit or she will he or she will exhibit that the level of LH is increased in a blood. So this is a LH surge. Now metal smudge. Metal smudge is, this term is actually in case of sensitive women. Some sensitive women feel this that during the date of ovulation, or at the date of ovulation, during the ovulation time, a small pain occurred either in the left ovary or in right ovary. But this not all women sensitize this. Very few of individuals feels that such kind of pain occur at the day of ovulation, at the day of 14th day of ovulation. At the 14th day, the secondary oocyte rupture the Graafian follicle, and during this time a small amount of blood is also released as a result of rupturing of Graafian follicle, and this actually this cause a small pain. This small pain is called metal smudge. This occur at the day of 14, or in case of 28-day cycle woman, it is day of 14th, or in case of or at the time of ovulation, it is the ovulation pain. Now this one. Now as question is that why female not conceive again? Why female not conceive again when she is pregnant? That is, a pregnant woman, if it is possible that is pregnant woman becomes again pregnant? Not possible, because in case of pregnant woman, the blood progesterone level, the progesterone hormone level in the blood is already high. The high blood progesterone level inhibit the further ovulation. So ovulation not occur. When ovulation not occur, then how it is possible that she will again be conceived if sexual intercourse occur during this period also? So this is a very important term. Why female not conceive again when she is pregnant? During pregnant condition, the blood pH already becomes high, and that pH high blood progesterone inhibit the ovulation. So why it is not possible that a pregnant woman becomes again pregnant again during her pregnancy period? So this is a question. And what is ostium? Ostium is actually a pore surrounded by a fimbriae. In case of fallopian tube, that is the ampullar region. After the ampullar region, there is the infundibulum. Infundibulum region contains several fimbriae-like projections that are for sweeping the released secondary oocyte into the fallopian tube. So the pore present in that infundibular region is called an ostium. So it is the pore of fallopian tube. Then fertilization time. What is actually the exact fertilization time? There is no hard and fast rule that is what is the exact fertilization time, but it is up to the 24 hours of ovulation. That after ovulation, 24-hour duration is most vital, important time, and most chance of fertilization is very high. So it is a fertilization time up to 24 hours of ovulation. What is actually the stage of implantation? The blastocyst stage of the fetus. Blastocyst stage of embryo is actually the stage when the blastocysts get implanted into the uterine wall, inner wall of the uterine, that is the endometrium. So blastocyst is a stage. Now hysterectomy. What is actually the term hysterectomy? Hysterectomy is a surgical removal of the uterus from a female body, especially in case of cervical cancer, or if cervical cancer or tumor, large size of tumor is present in a uterus, so that after surgery it is not possible that uterus will remain being functional. So in that case, doctors decide that uterus will be removed by surgery. So this is called surgical removal of the hysterectomy. That occurred situation, actually it is that surgical removal of total uterus, so that no in case of especially cancerous patient is occurred, and this decision doctor takes normally, and in large tumor cases, surgical removal of the uterus. Now oxytocin hormones function. We know that oxytocin hormone released from the posterior pituitary gland. Posterior pituitary gland produce oxytocin, and that oxytocin hormone's function is so many functions. Further, it is a birth hormone. That is, during the labor, that is the birth, oxytocin hormone level is increased in a blood, which cause the myometrial contraction. Myometrium ki the second layer of the uterus, myometrium, the middle layer, that muscle will contract, baby automatically goes down and birth occur. So this is oxytocin. If during the labor normal birth is not occurring, then injection is given, oxytocin injection is given to increase the oxytocin level, so that contraction of the uterine wall occur, then childbirth complete. So this is called as oxytocin is a birth hormone as well as milk ejecting hormone. Oxytocin is also ejecting the milk, not produce the milk. This is a very common question, and normally students here confused in that case, that is, it is a milk producing or ejecting, but minutely it is a milk ejecting hormone, not producing. Or producing hormone is a prolactin. So this is oxytocin function. Now endometrium. The endometrium, the inner lining of the ovary, uterus, is called endometrium. The endometrium has two parts. One part is a stratum basalis, stratum basalis, and stratum functionalis. Stratum basalis and functionalis, and this stratum functionalis is actually the layer which is formed during the menstruation phase. And this stratum functionalis layer is actually said as a bleeding, as a menstrual bleeding, and stratum basalis form again in the next 28 day cycle the stratum functionalis, new stratum functionalis, and again stratum functionalis becomes said during the pregnancy. So, and most important thing is that in case of endometrium lining, the blood vessels are in a coiled condition. Most important thing is that in case of menstruation, the blood clot not occurred, but bleeding not continues. Bleeding automatically checks after 3 or 4 days or 5 days. Why? Because the blood vessels present in endometrium are in highly coiled condition. If after the shedding, after the breakdown of the endometrial layer, automatically the blood vessels, what happened? Automatically blood vessels coils. As a result of coiling, automatically blood, the release of blood is checked. So this is endometrium wall. Cervical mucus. What is cervical mucus? Cervix. Women's cervix produce a mucus layer which are very important and which contain these important materials. What? Water. It contains water. Also contain glycoproteins, lipid, enzymes and inorganic salts. The cervical mucus also provides some amount of nutrients. After ejaculation, the sperms, freshly ejaculated sperms, are deposited in a cervical, in a cervix, in a vagina, and then goes to the cervix. And this cervical mucosa gives some amount of nutrition to the sperms. Most important thing is that the term, what are the different terms? Vaginal bacteria. We know that acidophilus bacteria, acidophiles, woman vagina, mainly the female vagina, contain is the acidic pH. pH of this vaginal pH is acidic. Why it is acidic? Because acidic pH protects. It is actually the opening of the body and is a vital opening, and this pH is low so that the bacteria, fungus or any other microorganisms cannot get entry through this vagina, because low pH is mostly unfavorable by most of the organisms. So this is very important. Lactobacillus acidophiles is a bacteria. Bacteria is Lactobacillus acidophiles, most important bacteria. This bacteria is responsible for the formation of lactic acids. So why the vaginal pH remains low? The lactic acid. How the lactic acid are formed? Lactic acid are formed from glycogens by these bacteria. These bacteria continuously produce lactic acid, and that lactic acid cause the vaginal pH low. However, menarche and menopause is a very common term, that is onset of menstruation, and pause means menopause. Pause means stop. That's stop of menstruation. It's called menopause. Ragi actually. This is a small undulated layer present inside the vagina. This undulated layer is very important, and this undulated layer during the sexual intercourse helps to male pleasure and prompt ejaculation. It helps in ejaculation actually, and this ruff is a inner lining of the vagina. Glans, penis and ruff together actually attached during the sexual intercourse. Now, what is the dendritic cells or APC, and why the HIV infection occurs in case of females from the male? How the HIV viruses enters from the human from the male body to female blood? During the sexual intercourse, what happened? Female reproductive tract, mainly the vagina, contains dendritic cells as an antigen presenting cell. Antigen presenting cell is present in dendritic cell, and when, as we know that a HIV virus present in a semen as well as in sperms also. So HIV virus when get inserted into the vagina, then the dendritic cell engulf them. Sometimes the white blood cell present in the sperms also carry the HIV, and then that HIV virus is engulfed by the dendritic cells, and through this the HIV virus gets entry from male sperm to female blood. So this is very important thing. Now another term is capacitation. This is the most vital term. Capacitation is the freshly ejaculated sperm is not able to fertilize an oocyte, secondary oocyte or ovum, because sperms, a freshly ejaculated sperms have to, from vagina, it have to move 30 centimeter through the cervix, and this 30 centimeter region is very important, because during this movement 30 to 35 centimeter, this movement actually 32 the individual to individual vary. During this movement, out of the 200 million sperms, only 2 million sperms get entry into the cervix, and 200 to 400 sperms swims towards the ampulla region and able to fertilize the egg or ovum. So capacitation is actually the change, different functional changes occur during the movement of the sperms. After ejaculation, some sperms move very fast towards the egg through the cervix without going through any capacitation or chemical changes, any functional changes. But that sperms that move very fast and go very faster to the egg or sperm is not able to fertilize the egg because they are not they have not gone through capacitation. Capacitation is very important because those sperms that will go through the capacitation process will become stronger, and also three major changes occur. What changes? The different cholesterol, glycoproteins and different proteins that are covering the head of the sperms becomes separated. Different cholesterols, different proteins and glycoproteins that covering the sperm's head, that becomes separated, so that that particular sperms will directly move and get attached through the acrosome to the corona radiata as well as the zona pellucida cells, or zona pellucida or corona radiata cells, so that and then the bursting of the acrosome layer occur and acrosome chemicals will be released. Mainly the hydrolytic enzymes will be released from the acrosome cap. So why capacitation is very important? Through the capacitation, one sperm gets its functional stage. In outside, in IVF process, if we keep a freshly ejaculated sperm to the egg or secondary oocyte, it is not possible that sperms will not able to fertilize the secondary oocyte because that freshly ejaculated sperms is not going through the capacitation. So capacitation is very important term. However, here is another term is here that if we consider that when sperms will get attached to the secondary oocyte, what are the different layer actually? I have not mentioned here. Actually, there are three layers, three major layers. One is granulosa cell layer. First, when sperms will get attached to the egg or secondary oocyte, first granulosa layer will be there. Then corona radiata cell layer will be there. Then zona pellucida will be there. And after zona pellucida, the oolemma, that is the egg's own cytoplasmic membrane. These four layers are there. Outside the egg cytoplasmic membrane, there is a zona pellucida, and in between, that is in between the zona pellucida and the plasma membrane, there is a space. It's called perivitelline space. Most important thing is cortical granule reaction and amphimixis. What is cortical granule reaction? After the entry of the sperm, after sperm entering into the egg cytoplasm, a total sperm is entering, that is a total with flagella. Very most important thing is that most of the books written that the sperm's head is only entered and tail is not entered, but not actually phenomenon that total sperm entered into the egg cytoplasm. Later only the head portions, the only head portion remains and the tail portion degenerated. That is the later case, later history, but total sperms enter. However, after entering the total sperm into the egg cytoplasm, eggs different glands present in egg cytoplasm, that becomes exocytes. That is, exocytosis occurs in different cortical regions, different glands present in the cortical regions. The glands present in a cortical region of egg cytoplasm contains several glands. That glands will then spread towards the periphery. Suppose this is an egg, and after getting entry into the cytoplasm, then the cortical granules they will be spread towards the periphery and will release some chemical substances in perivitelline space, that is space present between zona pellucida and cytoplasmic membrane of the egg. And also a calcium deposition occurred. Calcium is very important phenomenon in this case. What happened actually? This is called actually the this is called actually the cortical reactions. What happened? First, when this had occurred. In this case, we can use that. This is an egg and a ulema, and outside this is a zona pellucida. This is a perivitelline space. This is a ulema. There is a zona pellucida. Outside the zona pellucida, there is a corona radiata, and outside the corona radiata, there is granulosa cells. So these are the 4 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and after this the cortical reaction occurred. That is, the granules becomes separated towards the periphery of the ulema and release some chemical substances. In such a way, this releasing of the chemical substances outside in the perivitelline space is due to inhibit the second sperm entry, so that second sperm not get entry. One important thing. Another important thing is that how this is the cortical reaction one way, another way is the another way is the depolarization. As and when first sperm enters or touches the X cytoplasmic layer, X plasma membrane, X plasma membrane becomes depolarized. X plasma membrane becomes depolarized. As and when it is depolarized, it is not able to receive the second sperms. If second sperms enter, it will not receive. So depolarization, prompt depolarization occurred. After get entry of first sperm, this is a first sperm suppose, then and then this plasma membrane gets depolarized. Plasma membrane of the egg, that is ulema, becomes depolarized. This is very important thing. Another very important thing, that depolarization also triggers the release of calcium ions intracellularly. As and when depolarization occurs, that causes a calcium ion concentration high. Calcium ion concentration high inside the plasma membrane, inside the cytoplasm. As a result, the cortical reaction occurs. So these are the stepwise phenomena. First plasma membrane will come, and the acrosome cap. One sperm has, I have mentioned here in a previous classes, it has a acrosome cap. This acrosome cap is actually, it is similar to lysosome and it is derived from Golgi body. Very important thing is the question asking, that is, from where the acrosome cap and why it is present. It contains so many hydrolytic enzymes. What are the different enzymes? I have mentioned in previous classes also. I am mentioning that hyaluronidase, corona hydrolytic enzymes. These are the different hydrolytic enzymes are there. Neuraminidase, acid phosphatase. These are the different enzymes are there. Neuraminidase, hyaluronidase. These are different enzymes I have mentioned. In 4 different types of enzymes are there. So this is very important. Amphimixis. Amphimixis is nothing but a mixing of the chromosomes of the sperms with the eggs. 23 chromosomes of sperms and 23 chromosomes eggs get together, come together and mix. This is called amphimixis. So these are the different terminologies I mentioned. And one important thing is that, so in case of female reproductive structures and male reproductive structures, some similarity is there. Some part of the male reproductive structure is homologous to the female reproductive part. In case of evolutionary point of view, what happened? Clitoris. In case of female reproductive structure, we know that the most sensitive part of a female reproductive structure is the clitoris. Clitoris is it is homologous to the glans penis of male. So in case of female, it is clitoris is similar to glans penis of males. Scanis gland is similar to prostate gland. What is Scanis gland? Scanis gland is similar to prostate gland. It is actually a gland that secrete the some mucosal substances, which is very helpful for the actually this is very helpful for the sperms point of view, the sperms nutrition. So this is Scanis gland is similar to prostate gland. Bartholin gland is similar to bulbourethral gland. Bartholin gland is present. Bartholin gland is similar to bulbourethral gland. During the sexual intercourse, Bartholin gland secretes some amount of mucosa. That's similar to bulbourethral gland. In case of male, it is Bartholin present in female, and this is the male. Labia majora, in case of female, it is similar or homologous to the scrotum of the male. Labia minora, it is similar or homologous to the penile urethra. So these are the different structures that are homologous to the female, homologous to the male structures. So these are the different aspects I have discussed today. You have to remember it and get a note clearly each and every point. Thank you.